to Michigan Supreme Court rules. I'll delete the record from YouTube shortly after we finish. I've opened the record now, excuse me, in the matter of Demetrius Johnson Holmes. This is case number 2017-598DL. My name is Marc Crotteau. I'm a referee with the 37th Circuit Court. Because this matter is being heard by a referee, any party has the right to file an objection, asking the judge to review any findings or recommendations that come out of today's hearing. Anyone choosing to do that has to do it within 7 days and in accordance with Michigan court rules. Present for today's hearing by Zoom is Demetrius Johnson Holmes. Is that correct?
Yes.
Also present by Zoom is Ms. Sheila Smith, who is Demetrius's, I'm sorry, did you say stepmother, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. And it's my understanding that Demetrius is currently staying with you under a power of attorney. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. We also have Ms. Wickham here today, who is the lawyer representing Demetrius in this case. And we have Ms. Henderson, who is the lawyer assigned to be lawyer guardian ad litem for Demetrius to make sure that his legal interests are looked after in a broader sense than just this case. We have a number of people here from the Department of Health and Human Services. We have Mr. Amsterberg from Family Court Probation and Ms. Castleman from the prosecutor's office. We're here today for a review hearing, and I will note that this hearing was scheduled after the court received a motion to have a hearing because Demetrius, it was felt, was not safe in the Battle Creek area, and there was a plan to move him to stay with a relative out of state. And we have to have a hearing to essentially update the current court orders in order to accomplish that. I will note for the record that Demetrius is currently under the rules of intensive probation in this case. I think I can summarize a fairly substantial pre-hearing discussions, and I'll give everyone a chance to tell me if they think I got this right. That Demetrius has currently changed placements, is no longer in Battle Creek, is staying with Ms. Smith out of state. That the parties generally agree that that is a good thing and should continue, and that the parties' statutory duties under the Interstate Compact on the Placement of Children, ICPC, have not been accomplished and essentially need to be started up. Let me start with Ms. McCall, who's with us from the Department of Health and Human Services and sort of took the lead during our pre-hearing discussions. Ms. McCall, is that a fair summary of the circumstances as you see them just now?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Amsterberg from Family Court Probation, is that a fair summary of how you see the current state of affairs?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Wickham?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Henderson?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Castleman?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So what I think I need to end up doing today is to adjourn this hearing because, as I understand what I got from the pre-hearing discussion, the ICPC process has not been started, and by statute it must be done technically before moving a juvenile to a different state, a juvenile who is under court jurisdiction, moving to a different state. So that ball needs to be started rolling. And then what we'll do is come back in order to monitor the progress of that and see what orders might need to be changed or updated based on the progress of the ICPC process. Let me ask, I guess going through everybody in order again, Ms. McCall, does that seem like a reasonable proposition to you?
Yes, it does, Your Honor. And in addition, I can also add that CPS, for a more maybe expeditious response to making contact with Ms. Smith and Demetrius, can request a courtesy out of Cook County to make contact with the family, visit them at the home, and just at least initially assess how things are, and if there are any immediate services Ms. Smith may have need help with.
All right, and I will note, I think that is an appropriate thing to do, if for no other reason than Demetrius is in fact on probation under the orders of this court. And I don't want to put him in a position where he is, technically not in contact with probation, has technically disappeared, and might be in a position where he's in violation of court orders without him necessarily wanting to be. Mr. Amsterberg, does that seem like a reasonable course of action to you?
It does for right now. Something the court and all the parties can think about is that with Demetrius being on intensive probation, our office is bound by weekly face-to-face visits. I'd ask either now or at the next hearing to move him to an indefinite regular probation for that probation term.
I think that is something for the parties to consider. I'm not going to make that change today, in part because I have no idea what the ICPC situation is going to be, and I don't know sort of what I don't know what the outcomes will be.
Thank you.
Let me shift to Ms. Wickham. From your standpoint, does that seem reasonable? Do you have any other comments to add?
It does seem reasonable. I just want to make sure that he's not going to get any probation violations now because he's, out of the state. So I would ask that probation work with him in the best way that they're able to, being that he's a whole state away.
And I'll note from my standpoint, obviously, if a probation violation is filed for whatever reason, Demetrius would have all the same rights that he ordinarily would, including your ability to whatever might be going on. Ms. Henderson, from your standpoint, does that seem reasonable?
It does, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Castleman?
It is reasonable. I think Mr. Holmes has a question.
Oh, Mr. Holmes, do you in fact have a question, Demetrius?
Yeah. How I'm gonna get violated? That's what I'm saying. How I'm gonna get violated?
I don't know. And as of right now, no one has filed a violation. I just want to make sure that, number one, everyone knows what your circumstances are, and we'll, I guess, try to work with you and not have you catch a violation unnecessarily.
But I'm talking about before all that even happened.
Let me also say, Demetrius, that if a violation does come, you and Ms. Wickham will have the opportunity to defend against it, okay?
I don't even want to have to go through all that. That's what I'm trying to say.
So what I will tell you is, Demetrius, you should make a point of staying in contact with the folks at probation, making sure they know where you are, what you're doing, what your circumstances are, so that they don't feel like they need to file a violation. Okay. Then for today's purposes, I will find good cause to adjourn this hearing in order for the ICPC process to be started and to see where that takes us. We will come back and decide what to do with the current court orders, whether they should be modified or not modified or what, depending on the outcome of the ICPC process, which I'm sort of sorry to say should have been started a long time ago, but we'll do what we can with it. Okay. I will remind everyone that they have 7 days to file an objection if they want the judge to review my decisions. I will stop today.